Good afternoon. The next Melacha that we come to is Tofair, strictly speaking, translated as sewing. If one goes ahead and sews any item 2 stitches on Shabbos, then that is the Melacha Mideoraisa of Tofair. As we know, all the Melachos come from the work done in the Mishkan, and that is a matter of debate where Tofair, where the sewing took place in the Mishkan itself. According to Rashi on his commentary on Parshas Truma, suggests that the different parts of the curtains were actually sewn together to be combined, and therefore we see immediately that Tofair was an essential part of the building of the Mishkan. However, the Yerushalmi had a different understanding as to the construction of the curtains that were in the Mishkan, and that the Yerushalmi actually suggests that the curtains were not different pieces, but were one long piece. And therefore, the Yerushalmi suggests that Tofair was not in order to combine the different parts of the curtain, but rather when there was some tear or some destruction which occurred and required repair, that was done by means of sewing, and that was the sewing that took place in the Mishkan. But nonetheless, all agree that the next Melacha is in fact Tofair sewing, and that, as you mentioned, is minimally sewing 2 stitches. However, it is really any combining of any 2 separate objects, even if it's not tied together or wound together, but any combining, whether it's by sewing, as mentioned, or even by pinning something together or gluing something together, or really any means of combining 2 distinct items together, is the Melacha of Tofair. There is a debate that the Ramah brings as to whether or not Tofair has the same status of kosher, of tying, when it comes to the need for something being permanent. As we mentioned, that kosher, the Melacha of kosher, of tying a knot, is only when it's a permanent knot. And the Ramah says that in chiluk betfira ben shel kayama le'ena shel kayama, the first opinion the Ramah brings is that there's no difference whether it's permanent or not, even if it's something which is very temporary. This, the Ramah suggests, would be a problem of Tofair. However, the Yesh Matir, and he says there are those that allow betfira she'ena shel kayama in a more temporary manner. If something is stuck together, something is put together in a temporary manner. However, one should not be so lenient in front of an Am Haaretz, because that would cause, seemingly, the issue would be, it would seem some sort of Zilzul Shabbos. It would not seem to be appropriate to attach things even in a temporary manner when one does not, so one should not take the Melacha lightly. Sounds like, strictly speaking, the Ramah would assume that Me'ikar Adin, from the real halachic realm, it would be permitted to combine items in a temporary manner. However, we have to refrain from doing so, so that we don't make it seem light and that we don't cause any Zilzul Shabbos. That will be discussed further as to what temporary sewing or attaching may be allowed and what may not be. Have a great day.